Today our guest is in another city, so we will give him a call. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Historic Reflection. This is the series where we sit down with voices from the past and explore their ideas, their discoveries, and their thoughts on the modern world. These conversations are not meant to recreate history exactly. Instead, they offer a thoughtful reflection of what these remarkable figures might say if they could join us today. So as always, we begin the same way. Who are we reflecting with today?
My name is Nikola Tesla. I was born in the year 1856 in the village of Smiljan, in what was then the Austrian Empire. Throughout my life, I devoted myself to understanding electricity, not merely as a tool for machines, but as a force that flows through the very structure of the universe. Many of the electrical systems that power your modern world began as ideas I pursued in laboratories filled with coils, sparks, and imagination. It is a pleasure to witness what those ideas have become. Please, ask what you wish.
Mr. Tesla, let's begin with your work on alternating current. When you first proposed your system, many people believed it was impractical. What convinced you that alternating current would eventually power the world?
Nature itself moves in cycles, day and night, the tides rising and falling, the rhythm of the human heart. Alternating current simply follows that same principle. Instead of forcing electricity to travel endlessly in one direction, we allow it to oscillate. Once I understood this, the solution became obvious. The difficulty was not the science, but convincing the world.
Today, almost every electrical grid on Earth runs on alternating current. If you could walk through a modern city at night and see millions of lights powered by your work, what would you think?
I would feel satisfaction, certainly. But I would also feel curiosity. Electricity was never my final goal. It was only the beginning. I always believed humanity had only begun to understand its true potential.
You once attempted to build the Wardenclyffe Tower to transmit wireless power across the planet. What was the true mechanism behind that idea?
The Earth itself is a conductor, a vast electrical body surrounded by an atmosphere capable of carrying energy. My intention was to transmit power through the planet and the air itself. If properly implemented, electricity could have been delivered anywhere in the world without wires. The tower was meant to prove that concept. Unfortunately, vision is often limited by investment.
Today we have wireless communication everywhere. Wi-Fi, satellites, smartphones. In 1926, you predicted that people would carry small wireless devices, allowing them to communicate instantly across the world. Do you believe that prediction came true?
Very much so. What you describe is remarkably close to what I imagined. When information flows instantly around the globe, the world begins to resemble a single nervous system, a great brain, if you will. Humanity becomes more connected than ever before.
There is another development in our world I would like your thoughts on. Machines are now capable of performing tasks that require human reasoning. We call this artificial intelligence. What do you think of thinking machines?
I once imagined machines that could operate automatically without direct human control. Artificial intelligence may simply be the next step. First, we extended the hand with tools, then strength with engines. Now you extend thought itself. It is a remarkable achievement. But like all powerful inventions, its future will depend entirely on the wisdom of those who guide it.
Electric vehicles are becoming increasingly common in our time. Do you see modern electric transportation as part of the future you imagined?
Electric power has always been superior in efficiency and elegance. The internal combustion engine was only a temporary solution. Electric propulsion was always the logical direction. It pleases me greatly to see the world rediscovering that truth.
Mr. Tesla, before we conclude, we like to finish each episode with what we call the Reflection 5. 5 final questions. Short reflections, if you will. What was the true purpose of your Teleforce machine, often called the Death Ray?
It was intended as a defense system. My belief was that if a nation possessed a weapon powerful enough to prevent invasion entirely, war itself might become less desirable. Its purpose was deterrence, not destruction.
Looking back, did your rivalry with Thomas Edison help technological progress or slow it down?
Competition can sharpen the mind, but pride can also delay cooperation. Mr. Edison and I possessed very different approaches. Had our efforts been united rather than opposed, progress may have come faster.
Did you truly achieve wireless power transmission over long distances?
I demonstrated the principles successfully, but the full system required investment and patience that the world was not prepared to provide. Some ideas simply arrive before their time.
Did your personal habits and obsessions help or hinder your work?
Both. Extreme focus often requires isolation. My discipline allowed me to imagine extraordinary systems, though it also separated me from ordinary life. Such is often the cost of discovery.
And finally, what advice would you give scientists and engineers of today?
Do not invent merely for profit. Invent for progress. The greatest discoveries are those that elevate all of humanity.
Tonight we reflected with a man whose imagination helped power the modern world. From alternating current to wireless communication, his ideas transformed electricity from a scientific curiosity into the foundation of modern civilization. That is the spirit of historic reflection. Each episode we sit down with voices from another time, not to recreate history exactly, but to reflect on the ideas that shaped our world and consider how those ideas might speak to us today. And next time, we'll reflect with a daring pioneer who looked at the sky and refused to believe it had limits. An aviator whose courage helped open the skies to a new generation of explorers. A woman who believed that adventure itself was worth the risk. But as always, we'll let our guest introduce herself. Until then, thank you for joining us here on Historic Reflection. Remember, history may be behind us, but its reflections are still speaking. Good night.